Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to share my opinion on the adjustment of age markers that CDC just released recently on the baby milestones. In case you're new here, my name is Karyna, I'm a mom. I have two kids. One is a toddler girl, she's 3, and I have a baby boy. He's 8 months old, and you're gonna hear him in the background here. And here on my channel I talk a lot about baby's development. I do baby updates, and if you've been around for a while, you've noticed that I know quite a lot about milestones and development and all the things baby, because especially with my first, I was like really into it. I was really curious. I researched a lot and I studied a lot of opinions from different specialists. Bless you. And that's why here on my channel I enjoy sharing my experience, ideas, tips and tricks. I enjoy sharing what I've researched. I enjoy trying to make motherhood and fatherhood a bit easier on you. So if this sounds like something you can get a value from, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon. I post every single Thursday, and I do a bonus video here and there. So when I heard this news, I was like, I have to talk about it on my channel. And before I read anybody's take on this, I already had my own thoughts. So I'm gonna share what my initial thoughts were based on what I knew before, and then I'll share a few thoughts that I've learned and that I support or don't support from different experts online, particularly from Instagram, but that's where a lot of experts share their knowledge and opinions nowadays too. I will leave a few helpful links down below, as well as links to Instagram accounts of specialists like speech therapists and pediatricians. And I'm sorry, you want to be on camera? Come here. So this is baby Leonardo. For those of you who are new, hi! So let's discuss these changes one by one, and let's just start with crawling. So according to CDC, crawling is no longer a milestone. And this was probably the most shocking thing for me, because when I became mom, one of the first things I've learned from diving into all this baby development stuff, that crawling is crucial for your baby's physical development and for your baby's brain. In a few words, crawling, most importantly in my opinion, will help your child to coordinate the left and right sides of the brain, because they have to move together right hand and left leg, left hand and right leg when they're crawling. So it's important for their, you know, like whole brain thinking in the future, and it also helps with hand-eye coordination, balance, and reading, and all different things. And there is so much data and research backing up all these things. So how come they say that it's no longer important? I remember, especially with Michaela, I was trying to do everything and anything for her to start crawling, because I knew how important of a milestone it is, how important of the skill to learn it is. And look, if your baby did not crawl and turned out just fine, good for you. I did not crawl either. We're lucky that we turned out fine. I'm not an expert, but I know that for years and years and years, all the specialists were encouraging parents to do everything, or at least actually the most basic things that help kids crawl is to do lots of tummy time and floor time. And this is something that is free. That is something that does not require, you know, much of an effort on your part. But nowadays life is so different in the way where we have so many, you know, baby containers where parents live very fast-paced life, and they want to take, you know, their baby everywhere with them, including, you know, traveling. And a lot of the times babies are content in car seats or bouncers, high chairs. all that stuff, instead of creating a safe space for baby to practicing lots of different skills for them to help crawling eventually. So I remember with Michaela, I don't remember where I read it exactly, but it says that you shouldn't be concerned until 8 months mark. If your child does not crawl until 8 months mark, it's okay, but past that you should really look into what are you doing not right, or maybe take, you know, your child to a specialist. Maybe there is some kind of muscle tone, some kind of maybe birth trauma that they went through and nobody noticed, that can be fixed, and then they can, you know, develop better. So what I think is that they see that nowadays less kids crawl. Again, I don't know the numbers, but it's just my observations and my experiences and my thoughts. Don't quote me on that. I think they just see, you know, this tendency for kids to crawl less and less, and of course they don't take in consideration the outcomes in the long run, what happens to those kids later in life. They see that they grow, you know, just fine like their peers. So to take that pressure of parents, I guess, or whatever other intentions they have, I don't like to believe in any conspiracy theories, but this thing makes me think of some crazy stuff, like there is something more behind adjusting these milestones. But anyways, before you click out and think that I'm crazy, it's not just me thinking that crawling is very important, and the fact that they removed this milestone is just running away from the problem instead of trying to fix it. Okay, less kids crawl. How do we fix it? How do we encourage parents to do more floor time? How do we encourage parents to take their children to specialists, or, you know, incorporate that into a normal thing to do, because it's such an important milestone. They just removed it, just I don't know for what reason. So yeah, another person wrote on Instagram, I don't remember who she is exactly, but I saw a few doctors reposting it. She said something like, why people are getting so worked up on this news? CDC did not lie or hide something. We just got more new data and more research, and we're updating, you know, we're learning every day something new. But what happened to all these previous researches? Are they wrong now? So just help me understand. Let me know in the comments below, what's your take on it? I want to know your opinions. Let's have healthy conversations about it. I'm all for the healthy conversations. So let's talk about it in the comments. This is all about crawling. Another milestone that they changed is walking. They moved it from 12 months to 18 months mark. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this one. From what I know, again, walking is not something experts concentrate on so much, because if your child is crawling, they tell you, you know, let them crawl. The more the better, actually, and then eventually they will get up and they will start walking, and it's not that big of a deal, because also crawling does not put as much pressure on joints. Actually, does not put pressure at all. Like, it's so good for the whole body comparing to sitting or walking. So this is something that experts even try to tell you to avoid early on. For example, getting up and walking and you know, grabbing onto the cribs and pulling themselves up is very common for the kids who are content in their cribs, in their you know, play areas, and they don't have like the space to go around. They tend to try to stand up, and when you already learn how to get up, and you are so big and mature now, and you are trying to keep up with your caregiver just like they do by walking, you don't want to crawl anymore. It's not interesting. But again, coming back to the importance of crawling, it's important. So like what I always knew, you want to avoid letting them get up and stand up and pull themselves up too early, because also their joints and their bones and everything is just not ready for that kind of pressure. So with this one, moving this milestone from 12 months to 18 months, I don't know. I don't know, because from what I heard, it's not that important, and everybody walks eventually, especially if your child crawls. You shouldn't be concerned about that one. Michaela started walking at 12.5 months. Leonardo does not pull himself up yet. I think he will be doing that a little earlier though, it just seems like that to me. But anyways, nothing much to say on this one. But the third adjustment they did about speech also makes me very concerned and very confused. If you've been around for a while, you know that Michaela, my first daughter, was a little behind on speech. They told us this at her at her 2-year appointment. So again, we speak 3 languages in this house. It was really hard to understand if she's on track or not, because the main marker is 50 words. It used to be 50 words. If your child is bilingual, multilingual, those 50 words can be combined from all different languages they speak. And those words, they also count if it's not a full word, because she used to speak only with 2 first letters of the word and don't say the whole word for the longest time. So that was really hard to understand if she has this 50 words or not. So they told us that she's a little behind and we need to do, you know, this and these things, try to do the things, and the list of the things they gave me to do were all the things I do anyways. But again, I'll leave a video down below where I talk about quitting screen time for her. We had like a TV detox for like half a year before he was born, and I don't know if that improved her speech or just with the time it improved on its own, but she speaks very well now. Anyways, coming back to the change. They moved this milestone from 24 months to 30 months. Your child now needs to know 50 plus words at 30 months, which is 2.5 years. Well, what I've learned back then when I started researching this thing, that it's very important to catch your child's speech delay early on. Early interventions, it's even a program name here, at least in South Carolina, early interventions, because early intervention is crucial in this case. The earlier you notice that the child has a speech delay, the easier it will be fixed later. So I follow a few speech specialists and they are confused as well. So one of them wrote this: help me understand, how can we expect kids only be saying 50 words by age 2.5 and yet be reading and writing by the time they enter kindergarten at age 5? So they did not change that, as I understand, but they say, okay, let's wait and see. And that's another concept that some specialists talk about. They say we use the wait and see approach in both development and academics. And for example, you know, oh, my 20 months old is only saying 8 words. Let's wait and see how he's doing in 6 months. And according to research, being a late talker increases children's risk of having low vocabularies at age 4 and low school readiness at age 5, which is all not good. And I know all kids are different, that's very obvious. Like I said, they did not tell us that she had a speech delay at her 2-year appointment, but it got me thinking, you know, and it got me thinking at her 2-year mark instead of getting me thinking when she's 3 and still not talking. So I started putting even more effort into talking to her. It became important to me, and like I said, early intervention is important. And you see, maybe if more children, more parents will be told that, oh, your child might be getting a speech delay, you know, and you start working on it early on, and the earlier the better, isn't it? Even with crawling, like I said, we all work on crawling starting from day 1 of tummy times, the day you bring your baby from the hospital, because this is how it all starts, because you need the strength of all the muscles to start crawling, and that's where a child develops it, on the floor. So yeah, me and the experts I follow don't understand this trend. And like I said, there is also the fact that the fact that the kids have to be, you know, like reading at 5-year mark, it did not change. But the first thing, that delay in speech at around 2 years leads to delay in be able to read and all these things. So it's so confusing. Let me know your take on this. What do you think? You know, on the other hand, another initial thought I had is the fact that exact milestones can stress parents, especially new parents, and sometimes you shouldn't be so hung up on the numbers. Like I said, children are different, but it's still so important to know them and understand, like, okay, if my child does not crawl by age 8 months, I have to revise what I do wrong. Maybe I need to incorporate some other things. Maybe I need to see a specialist. I need to research more. Like, you need to be concerned. You know, your doctor have to be concerned. Because also, you know, the fact that your child does not talk, does not have the 50 words in their vocabulary by age 2, can mean so many things. Can mean that you as a mom is so busy that you don't speak to your child as often, or maybe your TV is constantly on. And like I said, it does not have to be the same for each kid. I know parents, when I was concerned about it, you know, I had some conversations and some moms told me, yeah, I have my TV on 24/7 and my child had no problem meeting her speech milestones. And for me, I noticed when I turned off her TV completely, I started talking more to her, and just the human interactions. And you know how we're all using screen time nowadays, and everybody knows that it's not good. It also leads to the fact that kids don't go outside as much, and it's also so important, the sunlight, the vitamin D, all connected to have healthy, smart children with critical thinking in the future, right? So here is some food for thoughts. I hope if you're a new mom, if you have a little baby, please go by old milestones. If you see that your child is approaching certain mark and they don't do certain milestone or not doing close to doing certain milestone, please be concerned. Please talk about it to your doctor. Please do some research. Follow experts on Instagram. It's important, it's your child's health. And yes, there are kids who didn't scroll and they're smart. And yes, there are kids who didn't walk until 18 months and didn't speak until 3 years old and they're alright. But how many kids there are who did not meet their milestones in time and do have problems, and do have severe speech delays, and do have problems at school, and do have problems listening, understanding, thinking? It's so important, right? So please pay attention to milestones, use the old guides, and make informed choices when you have information from all different sources, and then you decide what's best for your baby, because this is what it's all about. Your baby, it's your child, you're the mom, and you get to decide. I'm just giving you some information and some food for thought. So thank you so much for making it this far. Again, please leave your comments down below. I would love to read through them, and I would love to chat with you guys in the comments. Give this video a like if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We want to wish you to have healthy and happy babies, and we'll see you next week. Bye.